Headline earnings increased by 136% to a record 13 billion and 64 million rands, driven by iron ore and PGM operations. And we're very proud that we have declared a dividend of 20 rands per share. ARM Ferrous continues to do well with an increase in headline earnings of 77% to 7.9 billion. And ARM Platinum headline earnings increased by a phenomenal 309% to 4.7 billion. And during these circumstances of COVID-19, this is when the true quality of your management team comes to the fore. And we are hugely privileged that we've got a world-class management team. Part of our commitment, and in fact I call it an obligation, is to continue to attract the smartest and the brightest young black and white South Africans and South Africans of different background and different languages. As I've always said, we are privileged to have such a multiracial, multicultural society and a multicultural country. That is the strength of our country and the strength of our businesses, as well as the strength of African Rainbow Minerals. It's during this year that the diverse nature of our operations came to the fore, and also the confidence we've had in particularly our platinum operations, and I'm talking about Modikwa in particular, in the past when it was going through difficulties, and some of our shareholders quite legitimately were questioning whether it has a future. And it's beautiful that our understanding of the ore body and the operation is now, and as well as our commitment, is paying dividends. The total dividend for the financial year went up by 150% if you include the interim dividend, which is a total amount of 30 rands per share. Then our net cash position as at 30 June this year was 8.2 billion. Coal is part of where we are now, but we have a huge commitment as African Rainbow Minerals to CO2 emissions, and we are part of some of the most successful companies in the world that have committed to net zero by 2050. And we are also partners with the World Economic Forum to recognize that mining globally has an obligation to ensure that CO2 emissions over time indeed go to zero. And there are several initiatives that we've undertaken to make sure that this commitment is a reality. But also recognize that we've got what we refer to as transitional obligations, not only in South Africa but worldwide. Worldwide, there are hundreds of millions of people who are still in industries that has to transform and have plans in place to get to zero emissions. And we have an obligation, particularly in South Africa, as well as in Africa, the countries where we do business, to work with all stakeholders, provide workers with skills and expertise in the new industries that are emerging, and also to ensure that that this commitment we have to keep this planet safe and to make sure that CO2 emissions are indeed something of the past. Current and future growth projects, Blackrock and Gloria projects, potential ramp up to 5 million tons of manganese ore per annum subject to rail availability. There's lots of good discussions that are taking place with Transnet, and we are working together with Transnet, committed to partner with them to make sure that the rail infrastructure is world-class to allow the mining industry as well as the country as a whole to benefit from the increases in the price of the commodities that we mine. In the mining industry, the increases of the prices of the minerals that we mine, we know is a temporary process. And we don't know how long will the minerals remain at the good prices that they are now. But we have to make sure that even if there's a significant diminution or a significant decrease, that we will continue to create significant value for our shareholders. Modikwa Chrome Recovery Plant, 288,000 tons of chrome concentrate per annum. The plant commissioning is scheduled for the first quarter of next year. Two Rivers plant expansion, very exciting. Additional 40,000 to 60,000 6E PGM ounces per annum. The plant commissioning should take place third quarter next year. And then the Two Rivers Merensky project, additional 182,000 6E PGM ounces, 1,600 tons of nickel as well, and 1,300 tons of copper per annum. And plant commissioning in that regard is scheduled for second quarter of 2023.